As you know, about 11:15 this morning, we received a number of calls for a shooting at the Columbia Mall. The shooting took place on the upper level, above where the food court is, in and outside a store called Zoomies. It's been described to me as kind of a skateboard shop. Multiple calls there. As the executive mentioned, we were able to get officers on scene within 2 minutes. Based on our past training and experiences, those officers got into the mall very quickly. They were able to locate 3 people deceased from gunshot wounds. I want to clear up something because it's been circulating in some of the media that this has been reported by some as a domestic-related incident. We have no knowledge of that yet, and I'll get back to you in a second where we are in our investigation. It's been attributed to some sources. I'm not sure where that information is coming from. The Howard County Police Department has certainly been supported by a number of agencies in responding to this. But the Howard County Police Department is investigating the shooting incident, and we do not know yet what caused the shooting incident. So any attribution as this being domestic related or something else is purely speculation. So I'd appreciate you helping us get that word out so we get accurate facts out, and we again will share things as quickly as we can with you. Again, 3 deceased, including the shooter. The 2 deceased, there is an adult male, adult female in their 20s. They're both employees of the store. We are not yet releasing the names of the victims because we are still trying to notify next of kin and making sure that is done as quickly, as sensitively as we can. The identity of the shooter, we don't know who that is yet. When our officers approached, he was obviously deceased, but he was also still had a large amount of ammunition still on and about him. And so, because of concerns about any other weapons he may have or explosives, we are approaching this with an abundance of caution, and we are getting assistance from some of our federal partners in making sure there's no explosives on the body of the deceased. That's being done now. As that process is resolved, then we will be able to work more intently on identifying who that shooter is. Then, when we know that, perhaps we'll be able to have a better idea of what the motive is. The weapon used right now is a shotgun. I don't have any other information about that, or any of the reasonable questions you may ask about where it came from and who had it. We just don't. Again, we're about 5 hours into our investigation, which is not a lot of time, frankly. So I appreciate the questions, I appreciate the concerns. We have those questions as well, and as soon as we can get them to you, we certainly will. There's 5 other people that have been treated at Howard County General. 1 was a gunshot wound. The other 4 are either medical conditions or twisted ankles, things like that, as people have we're moving away from a very, very chaotic and dangerous situation. In terms of what was going on inside, as I told you in the earlier briefing, I'm not sure how many hundreds or thousands of people were in the Columbia Mall at Saturday at 11:15, but you can imagine how many there were. Many people left, many people stayed and did what they've been trained to do, and that is just shelter in place. So our SWAT team, assisted by SWAT teams from throughout the region at the federal, state, and local level, have spent pretty much from the time we left the last briefing till about a half an hour ago, going through that store, making sure we had no more victims, making sure, just verifying there was no more shooters or suspects, which we were very confident early on that we would not, and getting those people who had secreted, sheltered in place, getting them out, then going through a process of identifying those people who may have witnessed the shooting. And so those people that have witnessed the shooting, we are obviously having further interviews conducted with them by our investigators.